So, for our next session, I would like to start by introducing two incredible voices in the digital accessibility and design space. Joining us on stage, we have Pranav Bakshi. Pranav is India's first mainstream fashion model with autism to walk the ramp for the iconic Lakme Fashion Week. He won the HT City 30 under 30 Young Achievers Award for the category modeling and has delivered 4 TEDx talks, both marking him as the first individual with autism to achieve these accolades. He works as an associate digital producer with Thomas Reuters with a background in graphic design and has used products such as Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and Photoshop. Pranav has also collaborated with Tata Power, advised on national autism initiatives, and represented the community at forums like Microsoft and IIT Bombay. A self-advocate, he's also a published writer, currently authoring his memoir Houses and Flashbacks. Pranav proudly calls his autism a superpower and continues to break barriers in every space he enters. Our second speaker is our in-house senior director of Adobe Acrobat and Engineering, Praval Jain. He's instrumental in driving several key and critical projects in the Document Cloud business unit. He has been with Adobe for more than 14 years. While we wait for their mics to be set up, I would like all of you to give them a huge round of applause.
Excellent. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to have Pranav here. Thanks for all the introductions. I think we know a lot about Pranav, but we'll start off and get to know more about you. I think the thing that kind of stood out for me is your modeling part of it. So let's get started from there. How did you get into modeling?
I was introduced to modeling as an activity at Art for Autism Festival and I fell in love with it. When I came back, I saw models walking on the ramp on a big screen in a mall and I wanted to be like them. I click pictures of the billboards and I sent them to my mom. And I said to mom that I wanted to be like them. Mom said to me that is very difficult, but I said I will do it. I like to pose in front of the camera. I work hard on my fitness and everything is sorted.
Great, great. So most people get very nervous when they want to walk. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to have Pranav here. Thanks for all the introductions. I think we know a lot about Pranav, but we'll start off and get to know more about you. I think the thing that kind of stood out for me is your modeling part of it. So let's get started from there. How did you get into modeling?
I was introduced to modeling as an activity at Art for Autism Festival and I fell in love with it. When I came back, I saw models walking on the ramp on a big screen in a mall and I wanted to be like them. I click pictures of the billboards and I sent them to my mom. And I said to mom that I wanted to be like them. Mom said to me that is very difficult, but I said I will do it. I like to pose in front of the camera. I work hard on my fitness and everything is sorted.
Great, great. So, most people get very nervous when they want to walk the ramp, especially when there's so many people watching. So, what's your mantra around it? How you kind of get around that?
I don't get nervous. I love it. I sometimes tell my mom before the show that I'm going to have stage fright. I discuss things with my mom and everything is sorted.
Looks like that's your superpower. So, given that you have that superpower, can you also give us a couple of tips how to do a good ramp walk?
The first tip is practice entries and exits in your mind and follow the choreographer. And the second tip is enjoy the amazing music playing while walking the ramp.
Great, great. So you mentioned you kind of love being in front of the camera. What do you love the most around it?
I love poses and expressions. Let me show you.
Great. So we've asked a lot of questions about modeling. You're also a designer. So what kind of things do you like to create as a designer?
I like to make vectors because I find it interesting on Photoshop.
Do you what kind of music do you enjoy?
I like to listen to 94.3 Radio 1. And I don't like to visit cities that don't play 94.3 Radio 1.
I hope Bangalore has 94.3.
Yes.
It does? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So, and the music that you listen to, does this inspire your work as well?
And my favorite bands are Why Don't We, Freshly Ground, Fifth Harmony, Little Mix, One Direction, Duran Duran, and Kings of Leon. And my favorite singers are Shakira, Rihanna, Ellie Goulding, Selena Gomez, Jason Derulo, Michael Bublé, and Jay Sean. I like to listen to my favorite English songs. Come First by Astrid S, Spicy Margarita by Jason Derulo and Michael Bublé. I can go for that. Can't you by January Jane? And also Sesam by Ed Sheeran.
Great. So, does this music kind of inspire your design work as well?
Yes. I like to work only when music plays. And I can't work when music doesn't play.
Great. Looks like that is common. I know a lot of people who like coding with music, so I'm guessing even design work is in that way.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned you are into fitness. What is your fitness routine?
I eat a healthy, low FODMAP diet. And I have junk food only on weekends. I wake up early in the morning and I start doing fitness with my trainer. I start doing push-ups, pull-ups, planks, crunches, lunges, side lateral, fly, and also the side bends,
Great.
along with leg extension. And I don't like to do burpees. And I only like to do mountain climber.
Great. So, and which of one is favorite? I know burp is not your favorite, but which
And
one?
my favorite exercise is side laterals.
Okay, great. So we'll change gears a little bit. You kind of mentioned you like working with Adobe tools as well. Which is your go-to Adobe product?
I used to do stop motion animation, and I like to make social media creatives, brochures, visiting cards, and letterheads. And I like to make vectors on Photoshop. It's my favorite.
Great. So what do you like most about Photoshop?
Photoshop is easy. We should follow our steps. And working on the layers is interesting.
Okay. So not many people say Photoshop is easy, especially the layers part. So that's great to hear. Is there a favorite tool or feature in Photoshop that you
And
use?
my favorite tools are pen tool, gradient tool, marquee tool, moving tool, stroke tool, brush tool, paint tool, and uh, and that and that path tool and shape tool.
So just to add, why are these your favorite? I know you like to create vectors. Is that the reason? Why are these your favorite tools?
All icons should be bold because many of us are visual learners.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about any project and all that you kind of worked on which you're really proud of?
I've designed the logo of Pay Attention Initiative by Tata Power. And the Tata Power people took me for that screening of the movie, Tanvi the Great, and I saw employees were wearing t-shirts. And it's with the logo, Pay Attention. During the credits of the movie, they showed the logo, and I felt good about it. Autism is my superpower. I'm an associate digital producer, contractor. I'm a fashion model. I'm a photographer. I'm a graphic designer, TEDx speaker, and a writer. Autism makes me to do a lot of things. And this is what I showed in the logo.
Great, great. So there are a lot of Adobe folks here as well who are listening in. So anything you want to get improved, especially in Photoshop, what will kind of make it easier for you to use? You kind of mentioned the icons part. Is that yeah?
I'm confused. I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
I search in Google for ideas, and Photoshop should give ideas.
Okay. 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 I think I'll move on to kind of final reflections part of it. There are many young creators out here today who are starting out. What advice would you give them?
Work hard, play hard, and be patient. And don't use AI. And only keep working hard and keep being patient.
That's very good advice. I think a lot of people want to use AI. So yeah. What kind of helps you be confident and creative in your work?
I like to work alone, and I like to work only when music is playing, and I can't work when music doesn't play. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, I was very anxious that people passed away. And I've designed 3 sets of trays and coasters. And I earned money to give to PM Cares Fund to help people who are troubled because of COVID. And I felt good about it.
What's next for you? Any new projects and goals that you're working on?
In 2060, I'm going to retire from work when I'm 60 years old. But I am not going to retire from modeling at all. And I will keep doing modeling forever and ever. And also, I am going to do graphic designing side by side. And I'm going to design the wedding card for my sister Nikita. And I've made the save the date card. And it got appreciated.
So Pranav, I've asked you many questions. Any questions you want to ask me?
And Praval, I am going to ask you some questions now. How will Adobe designing products to be more accessible for you?
Okay, so thanks for that question. So I think Amit kind of covered it right at the beginning. I think one of the change that we're trying to make is move away from compliance to core, which is basically from ground up, try to build the product and new features in such a way that they are more accessible. The training part of it also, which Shilpi mentioned, I think what I'm seeing now is that Adobe is upgrading its accessibility courses every few quarters, so that and it's just not just coders, even designers, that they're aware in terms of what the standards are, what requirements are there, and so that the products are built the right way. So that's kind of something Adobe is kind of going in the direction of. The other thing that is also mandated is that we do go for periodic product audits, third-party audits, not even internal, third-party audits of our products from an accessibility point of view. And if there are any gaps which get identified, they are fixed as quickly as possible, maybe even in the next release. So a couple of things that Adobe is doing to make the products more accessible. We can move to the next question. Yeah.
And what are some examples of accessibility improvements your team has made recently?
Okay, so this one we'll partially cover in the product breakout as well, but I'll just mention it. So one of the things that we've done is the product already had a voice over feature where it used to read the PDF, but it was like hidden in menus. Some of you might have actually used it and might have said it's not built the right way. So we've kind of exposed it in a much more accessible way now. We are also working in the direction of making the voices around it more human-like. At the moment, they're quite robotic. So again, what kind of Amit mentioned, we met the accessibility checkbox, right? We could have very easily said read out loud is there, why make any further improvements? But we're still kind of working in that direction and trying to improve the experience of read out loud. The other feature, unfortunately, is AI related, so you may not like that that much. But in Acrobat and Reader, we've integrated AI assistant. So if you have a long document, you don't want to read the whole document, we can give you a summary. And very soon, we are also giving the capability that the summary will be read out to you, right? So if you're visually impaired, you don't want to read a 100-page document, you can generate a quick summary and get it read out to you. Those are a couple of the things that we've done, and we can move to the next question also.
And what's next in Adobe's accessibility journey?
Okay, so for this one, again, it is AI related. So I think we are, unfortunately, so we are moving in the direction where we do want to get to a state that why do you want to make clicks on the screen, right? You should just be able to say out and the product performs the feature, right? So for example, for PDF, you could say that, hey, I want to delete the second page of the PDF, right? Why should I want to make a few clicks to make that deletion? Why can't I just tell the product, hey, I want to get the second page deleted, and it should get deleted on its own? That's the kind of next step that we are working on, that you can have a conversation with the product and the product will actually make the change for you rather than going through menus and all. Do you have any more questions for me? They're tough ones, actually. Okay, so if there are no other questions, we can maybe take a question from the audience as well. My only request would be try and keep the questions concise, just one question at a time, please.
Hi, Pranav. This is Shilpi. Can you tell me about the ramp walk or the modeling assignment that you've done that you enjoyed the most, that you'd want to do again soon?
I've modeled for United Colors of Benetton, US Polo Association, and Lakme Fashion Week with that company, Ashish D. Soni. And I've also modeled for Big Bazaar in Quaitar.
Do we have any other questions? Raghavendra, can you please use the mic? No. We are just trying to get the mic working.
Hi, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, this is Raghavendra here.
Yeah.
Praval, question to you.
Yeah.
What about this Adobe PDF is not much accessible on Mac. Any ideas or anything going on to make accessible complaints there?
So you're saying the voiceover part of it?
Yes,
Or
yes, yes.
So voiceover, we are already working. My understanding is it does work, and the new feature that I was talking about will be available on Mac as well, Windows and Mac both. So it should be accessible on Mac as well. It's already part of our latest release. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because recently also I was seeing it was not much accessible. Okay, let me look into that new option.
Sure. So we'll be in the booths downstairs as well. We can show it to you as well. And if you have any further questions, we'll be happy to help.
Sure, Praval.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, this is Shiva Keshava. I create lot of accessible documents in, I create lot of documents in Indian languages. What is the process or what is the system or anything technical, something technical related to Indian languages make it accessible? So far I have seen it like this read aloud option is not reading Indian languages. So any option or future technical thing related to it?
You are correct. Right now we don't support, but it is in the roadmap. So the read aloud features and all that I'm talking about, they are mostly English or Latin languages, but we are kind of working on even the Indian languages as well.
I think we have another question in the audience.
Hey, hi. My name is Manoj. Like a tool like Acrobat PDF, how are we? There's a big problem to solve in the education industry, especially at schools. How we can create some of these basic foundational curriculums, right, available to people with different types of disability. And I think Adobe can play a very significant role in working with the government at the education sector to convert the contents that are given to the schools to be in a digital form. And then we make it accessible to a larger group of people. Because what happens is a lot more people are stuck in the way of walking up the mile to get graduates, because a lot of these contents that are available are not accessible in a soft copy or a digital form. So anything that you guys are thinking around that line to solve a bigger problem?
So that's a good suggestion. In terms of the current feature set, if you'll ask me, the summary feature that I was talking about, that actually works even on scanned documents. So you could actually scan a document and we will make it accessible for you. At least the summary part of it should be fairly accessible for you. But I think what you're asking for is maybe even greater than that. So we should, yeah. Yeah, I think Rakesh.
Can we have a mic for Rakesh? We are just getting the mic to the front.
Hi, my name is Ruturaj.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Praval, you nailed it well. Just want to add on top of it is the problem with the PDFs is not with the Acrobat or any files, is how these documents are created in the first place. The PDF can be created from taking a picture and saving it as a PDF. Or it could be a creation through Word document, and I think the source of the document is primary challenge. And we do scans, we can do the OCR and stuff, but at the large scale, I think it's more about thinking about the primary source of the document, whether it's more about educating the people on how you can ensure the documents are thought for accessibility in the same concept as others were talking about. Think when you are taking a scan of a document, if you think about can it be accessible, or when you're writing the document, making the source document accessible, it becomes more easier for conversion and making it as an accessible document than creating a very inaccessible image kind of a document and then converting that. Though we have AI resolving a lot of it, I think the best way is to think about accessibility right from the beginning.
And just add to what Rakesh is saying. So if you use, for example, Adobe Scan to scan a document, at least if it's not a handwritten document, we actually run the OCR even right now, and the document should be fairly accessible, right? So, like Rakesh was saying, I think using the right tools is very important here. At least Adobe products kind of support a lot of it out of the box. Yeah.
My question is not technical, but more from if I take the liberty to ask Pranav's mother here present in the audience, saying how was her journey, and if there's any learning from her experience for all of us here.
Lucky.
Thank you so much. The journey has been, to put it simply, great. I'm learning each day. And my vision from the very beginning was, of course, never let, with due respect to all the platforms and sources of information about neurodiversity, I read up everything. I understood everything, but eventually I followed Pranav, because you cannot let any thing limit your thought or limit your endeavors. Because Pranav was my guideline. I saw a very bright young man into so many things. He does speak his mind. You saw it here. I'm afraid I can't change that, but a lot has been achieved, and there is a lot more. So whatever Pranav wanted to do was what was the diktat for me. There are two things I'm exceptionally proud of. One is when I have a suggestion for Pranav, he says, I'll think about it and let you know. It's not that mama saying something, and because the primary caregivers sometimes take over the lives of the children. And second is my understanding of now Pranav. He wants to be completely independent. He wants to live in Mumbai all alone. So I'm glad, look at the smile on his face. I'm glad that we could reach this stage where he's confident that he will be able to do that. So we have to, I think, raise very independent, self-reliant adults who have minds of their own. Of course, financial independence is very, very important, that understanding also. And he's working very hard for that. He's working very hard to own a flat in Mumbai. Imagine that. So that's it. It's been an intense, worthwhile journey. Thank you.
I would just like to request if we can have just 2 or 3 more questions for Pranav, and then we will move on to the next segment.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Pranav. This
Hi.
is Megha. A
Hello.
question for you. First of all, very excited to listen to your modeling journey. I have been thinking since a long time, but could never do because of a lot of my own fears. So very happy that you could do that. My question is related to your modeling experience, that when you thought of starting your modeling journey and you did a couple of projects, how was your experience with the people who are already in the modeling industry without any disability? How welcoming they were, or any specific challenge you found it hard to overcome, if you would like to share?
I find modeling journey very interesting.
May I answer that for you, Megha?
Yes, sure.
Because
please.
I'll tell you how Pranav entered the arena of modeling. It was as a mainstream model. So there was no exceptions for him. And there were no guys. So he did not enter the field of modeling as, okay, he is a young person with autism, so let us allow him. So autism is an invisible disability, right? Pranav looks like all of us, right? And so the only thing I can share is, because obviously you're not allowed inside, how the choreography happens, all the mayhem happens. When I used to initially go and try to be very grateful to the choreographer, they used to tell me, well, if he wouldn't do it, we wouldn't take him. So it's like you're able to do it. So it's about how you're able to, in mainstream modeling, it's about whether you can pull it off. Like he told you in the beginning, he works out the entries and exits in his mind because he cannot understand so many verbal instructions which are fired at people, and there's so much of body language understood. So I think for Pranav, he decodes life in a very simple way. Here is a challenge. and every challenge has a solution, right, Pranav?
Right.
So he had set his heart on it and he had to do it. And I'm glad the whole universe conspired and he was able to do that. And at every walk, I think he's proved himself because there have been no exceptions for him ever. There's no separate green room for him. There are no separate trials for him. The auditions are the same for him. Like he goes and lines up at 8 and then the turn comes at 3. And whenever there's a rejection, I'm very, very grateful because in life, you're not going to be accepted everywhere. Rejections are a part of learning, right? Sorry, I answered on Pranav's behalf because the question was about what Pranav never faced because he never went as a model from the disability category. With due respect to all spaces, I've seen spaces where there are special occasions where special people walk the ramps. I celebrate that and I appreciate that also. But in Pranav's case, he somehow made his inroad as a mainstream model.
Thank you for that. And Pranav, thank you for bringing that confidence in me. I promise to myself, I'll ramp the walk one day for sure to fulfill my dream.
That's great.
Hi, Pranav. This is from Noida. So, Praval already mentioned about all the accessibility features that we are doing in Acrobat to make the life of people with accessibility easier. So, Pranav, any particular reason of not liking features which have AI capabilities, or have you faced anything which is not like AI friendly to you?
Like
So, yeah.
I just don't like AI.
Yeah.
Why? He asks you why.
Because I want to do Photoshop on my own.
That's it. So basically, he doesn't want assistance. So that's the thing. No shortcuts.
Hi, my name is Ruturaj, and it was amazing to see Pranav's journey as someone who works for Lakme and other brands. It was amazing to see that Pranav is part of that. My question to Pranav was that how do you tackle stage fright, right? I'm speaking right now and I'm telling you there are butterflies jumping in my stomach, but how do you tackle? Because you're not only speaking, you're walking, you're posing and all that. So how do you tackle that?
I practice entries and exits in my mind. And I also follow the choreographer. And I don't get nervous.
So how do you handle stage fright? When you have stage fright, what do you do?
And I take deep breaths to calm myself.
That's his mantra always.
Yeah.
Which he does.
So we will just take one last question and then we will wrap up the session. Okay.
Hi, Pranav. This is Sandeep Kulkarni.
Hello. Hi.
So I'm happy to see you, and I'm happy to see your smile also. It's beautiful. So just wanted to understand, is there any challenge when it comes to the gadgets you have used, and you also find a solution where you also suggested, okay, this is what I'm looking for, and I got it. So what is the one challenge you faced in these gadgets you were used to, because you are also a designer? I know accessibility comes to the picture, so where you find, okay, there is some gap where I'm looking for.
I'm married.
I'll just simplify the question for you, Pranav. Any gaps that you find in applications you use? If so, can you tell us about it?
I mean, better. Yeah, he mentioned. Yeah, he kind of mentioned that.
You can say that the icons can be bold, right?
Right.
Yes, that icons should be bold.
That's what he strongly feels.
Right.
Yeah.
And the nature of autism, they're very programmed. So people like Pranav are not likely to face any issues at all. Because I'm sorry, I'm taking the liberty of hijacking this question. Gadgets are very predictable. So at least the neurodiverse population will do very well with gadgets, because you put in you enter and you get that same response. You're not going to get a response which is which is something you did not expect. Like if when you do erase, you get erased. I mean, you erase. When you do copy, you copy. When you paste, I mean, I'm giving very simple examples, my bandwidth examples. So gadgets are something that our neurodiverse population takes to very, very easily. So at least the neurodiverse population of the special world will do very well with gadgets. The only thing which Pranav has also mentioned, because he goes to Google sometimes for ideas and he does feel that Photoshop should pop up ideas, that he said before.
Okay. Thank you so much for that session. I'd like to extend a heartfelt, thank you to Pranav and Praval for that amazing session. I think I also saw a lot of comments on our virtual link that this was a very, very insightful and interesting session to all of our viewers. So I would like everyone to give a round of applause for our speakers here. So we will now be moving on to a refreshments break. The break will be for the next 30 minutes and we will come back at 11:40. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.